What's up, everyone? This is a exciting day. We're going to talk about some Depeche Mode. We're going to do a little analysis of a song that I actually didn't figure out kind of the theory behind it, even though I've known the song for like 40 years or so, and it just occurred to me how the chord progression, I knew the chord progression, but it never made sense to me. And I sat down, I was like, why does this work? What is the theory behind this? But before we do that, we got Christmas coming up. If you're thinking of a great Christmas present for someone that you love, you can get my Beato bundle, $89. That's all the way through Christmas Day. We're going to be selling it for that price. It's got the beginning guitar program in there. It's got my Beato Book Interactive video course. It's got my ear training course, and it's got my Quick Lessons Pro, which is more of like an intermediate guitar course. But it's a great, great present for Christmas or whatever holidays you celebrate. But we'll be celebrating Christmas here. I was out doing a little Christmas shopping earlier today. Okay. Oh, and a couple other things. Had a couple really great interviews this week. Had Andy Summers right here in the studio that we were working on editing today, and had Steve Morris in here as well. And these were ridiculously amazing. This was so fun this week. Incredible week. Okay, let's talk about Depeche Mode. Now, I did a video on a Depeche Mode single that came out last year. But other than that, I don't think that I did a What Makes This Song Great on a Depeche Mode song. But this is the song we're going to talk about today, Enjoy the Silence, which is really their biggest song. Violator is a really odd song when you think about it, especially in the way that the verse hits. Let's listen to the beginning of it. Love that riff. Right here. Weird. And then, right here. Okay, why does this song have those couple weird chords in them? And how does it work theoretically? So I made a chart of the song here. I want to talk about some of the theory of this. This is the melody of the song. So the song starts out, the intro vamp is starts on C minor, and he goes, so it's really the C minor chord here. And then goes to E flat major. But when it comes into the verse, na, 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 na. So I'm like, okay, the song is in C minor. So we can say, okay, this first chord here is the 1 minor chord. Well, what is that second chord? It's a 3 minor. Why is that weird? Because in the key of C minor, E flat is actually major. Okay, so if we look at the key of C minor, we have the chord C minor, D diminished, E flat major, F minor, G minor, A flat major, B flat major. Okay, so we have 1, we have a 2 diminished, 3 is major, 4 is minor, 5 is minor. The 6, it's really like flat 6 is major. And the flat 7 is major. Okay? But where does this E flat minor chord come in here? E flat minor. So I thought about this. If you take the scale, okay, that doesn't really show you anything, but this. Now I included that B natural in there, but to me it's like, what scale, what C minor scale has that G flat note in it that's in this E flat minor chord? Because E flat minor chord is E flat, G flat, B flat. So this G flat note is the flat 5 of C minor. Well, there is a scale, and it's really E flat melodic minor, which is the parallel relative. You get the relative major, okay, and then you have the relative minor of the major, okay, or you can think of this as like a C Locrian natural 2 scale, okay. But this E flat minor chord is really from it's from the parallel of the relative major, the parallel minor of the relative major, if that makes sense. That's how you can account for that chord. Now the B chord here is a weird one. That's like a borrowed chord that's used as a passing chord. The weird place that comes in too is when the after the second chorus, when it does the turnaround chorus, because it goes, then it goes, and then. I love that tritone move. Normally this B major works kind of like just like a leading tone major, right? So you have this B major chord, which is a 7 major here in the key of C minor. Now I can't think of, I'm going to take this down for a second. I cannot think of one song that was a hit that uses this minor 3 chord and this major 7 7th chord, right? The major 7 chord, and not major 7, but the major chord built on the 7th scale degree, B major. Not one song that was a hit song, which is really, really interesting. Let me play a little bit more of this. For those of you that don't know the song, I can't imagine there's that many. Oh, I want to talk about this part. So this first chord here, the first time it goes, is really over a C. So it gives you a C minor 9 sound. That's why the song sounds sad right off the bat. And then it goes to E flat major. But then the next time around, on the next phrase, it goes. So it's using C minor with a flat 6. Na, 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 which gives it a melancholy feel. So all of those bands that you think of, the really dark, kind of melancholy bands like Depeche Mode or The Cure, Erasure, all these bands from the 80s that had that kind of dark vibe to it, used a lot of these notes like the flat 6s, which is a very sad tone to use. And they would use them constantly in the melodies. Or do things like this, that instead of going, na, 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 it could be, na, 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 na. It would have, the fact that it goes to that E flat minor chord, da, 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 na, 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 na. And then it brightens it up again. So it's this constant thing. You get these 2 minor chords that are not really related back to back right in the verse. And then it goes to this A flat major chord, and it gives the song a lift and keeps it from being a real downer, I would say. Listen. Love the groove too. You don't even notice it. It seems so natural. I've heard it so many times. And then I love this here. And the bridge is a variation of the chorus part. Then back to the intro. Then here's a weird, right here, listen, right here. You know, if I think about Just Like Heaven, The Cure, the guitar tones, that kind of Gretsch, it sounds like a Gretsch, clean Gretsch with delay on it. I just love that sound. You cannot, for moodiness, it's the perfect thing. You don't need any distortion on it. You just need the right notes on the lick. And Just Like Heaven, it has a similar kind of a vibe that with a delay and the clean, it sounds like a clean hollow body electric. I don't know what Martin Gore was playing back then, but to me, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like it sounds like it's a clean hollow body electric. So let's just talk about this again. Let me bring this back up. Talk about the theory of this. Okay, so these are the things that it's like, why do you need to know the theory of this stuff? Well, you don't really need to know it, right? But understanding what chords are major and minor in a key. So like I did C minor, D diminished, E flat major, F minor, G minor, A flat major, B flat major. Well, this is really the C natural minor scale. Now, there are other C minor scale types. You could have a C melodic minor. You could have C harmonic minor. And each of these have their own spelling and their own set of chords that go along with them, right? So the first thing that I do when I'm looking at a chord progression, because you want to be able to, if you're going to improvise over something, you want to be able to analyze it just to know what notes to play if you're going to play the scales over it. So this is C natural minor. Okay, C melodic minor would be the notes C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B. Okay, so C melodic minor, you could say, is a C major scale with a flat third, but it's really... It's the spelling of it is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as opposed to C natural minor or C Aeolian is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Then you have C harmonic minor. So this one's melodic minor. This is natural minor. And then you have C harmonic minor, C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat. It's got a flat 6 and a major 7. This is a harmonic minor. Okay, so it's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, major 7. So right here is an augmented second interval there. Let me actually move this up a little bit so you can see it better there, okay? So each of these scales has a set of chords that go with them. If you're building triads in them, right, to know what the chords in the key are, I did it for C natural minor. C melodic minor has C minor, right? So if I take the first note, C, then E flat G, that's a C minor chord. D F A is D minor, is the 2 chord. E flat G B is E flat augmented. So I'll put a plus there for augmented. The 3 chord here, or the 4 chord is F A C, so it's F major. The 5 chord is G B D, so it's G major. The 6 chord is A C E flat, so it's A diminished, and then the 7 chord is B D F, which is B diminished. Now, one of the things about this scale, I talked about this in my old whiteboard lectures I had, okay? The melodic minor scale, like the harmonic minor scale, has what we call some hidden enharmonics. I was telling this to Tom earlier. So if we take C melodic minor, so once again, we're going to go C minor, D minor, E flat augmented, F major, G major, A diminished, B diminished, okay? And all this stuff is in my Beato Book Interactive. It's all in my ear training course. It teaches you how to hear these chords, how to identify them. But this there's a couple things in melodic minor and harmonic minor that we call hidden enharmonic tones.
Did you see the super chat?
It says David, Rick, thank you. Of course, you help me redevelop me to learn songs faster and learn them quicker. Thank you. There you go. See that? That's why you need to get the bundle as a Christmas present for yourself or someone that is a musician that you know. Okay, let's talk about this. So you got 1 is minor, 2 is minor, the flat 3 is major, the 4 is, flat 3 is augmented. Okay, the 4 is major. 5 is major, the 6 is diminished, and the 7 is diminished. But there's a couple what we call hidden enharmonics in here. Okay, so what are these hidden enharmonic chords? Okay, so if you go to the, let's say you take the, if I take the 5 chord here, okay, and I spell it G, B, E flat, okay? You say, well, what is the G, B, E flat? Well, G, B, D sharp. This is why it's called a hidden enharmonic. G, B, D sharp is G augmented, okay? So there's, not only is there a natural 5 in there, 5 chord, but there's a 5 augmented. It's just not spelled correctly. So that's one of the hidden enharmonics that are in the scale. Okay. There's another one in here too. Okay. So if we go on the 7th, you've got B, E flat is in the scale, and then G. And you'll be like, well, what is that? That's weird. That's nothing, is it? Well, if we spell it differently here, B, D sharp, G, we have a, and this G would be really an F double sharp. This would give you a B augmented chord. So On the 7th scale degree, we have a 7 augmented also. Just kind of screwed that up there when I was writing it. So a 7 augmented, right? This is once again, so B augmented. So there are these 2 hidden enharmonic chords that are in melodic minor. So when you get these borrowed chords, and I talk a lot about borrowed chords in my Beato Book Interactive. I have a whole chapter on borrowed chords. Borrowed chords are chords that come from other keys that are not secondary dominant chords, but a lot of times they'll come from the parallel major chord. And this is kind of how you figure out the theory for how people write stuff and where they grab chords for. I have a section called Chords for Songwriters. It's to get people away from writing songs with 3 chords or 4 chords. If you have a song that's like, C, G, F, A minor, or C, A minor, F, G, or F, G, A minor, C. Any of those combinations use a 1, 4, 5, and 6, and there's a million songs that use that. It's like, okay, well, what are some chords outside of those that I can use to make my song more interesting? Well, you could go C, E, so I did 1 to a major 3 to 4 to 5. Or I could go 1, the major 3 is a borrowed chord, okay? That's it's a secondary dominant chord. It's really a 5 of 6. And you could go C, E, A minor, G, C. Or you could go C, E major, F major, F minor. So that borrowed chord F minor is a 4 minor chord. These are all different, what I would call borrowed chords. And if you start thinking of these things, you can make your songs more interesting by actually memorizing or experimenting. You could take just my little chapter on borrowed chords and say, okay, I have my song here. What are the Roman numerals that I'm using? Like, what are the actual chords? Am I staying in one key? How do I utilize this stuff? It's just to make your songs more interesting. You can experiment with this. Go. Na, 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 na. But to me, that's just a really interesting melodic shift there to go to that minor 3 chord. They probably did it, honestly, because they've never heard anyone do it. And I literally, I know hundreds and hundreds, thousands of songs. I can't think of a song. I probably could if I really racked my brain, but it'd probably be a jazz tune. And I'm thinking Depeche Mode. I'm wondering if Martin Gore actually plays this song with a capo. If he did, it doesn't matter if he played it with a capo. If he played it with a capo at the 3rd fret, you could say, well, if he played with a capo, maybe it's just, it lays better. Let's see here if my capo works here. Maybe that's not the right capo. Do I have a capo here, Tom? Oh, I got a capo right here. Let's see here. Let's think about this for a second. So if you got no, you can't. You still go into a bar chord there. There is nothing that naturally fits under the hand. Na, 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 na. Now, yes, I'm trying to think of a capo position that would actually make it to where those two chords would fall in. Maybe one of you, this would be a great thing. Put it in the comments section if you can think of a place where you could play the capo and play this song using chords that are in first position without a bar. I don't think that there is because of that relationship between the first and second chord, but it's an interesting idea. Mo, love this so much. Martin Gore is a master songwriter to be an excellent interview. He would be an excellent interview. So if you're out there, Martin, and you have a second and you want to reach out to me, I would love to interview you. That would be a great interview. I could ask him about this too. There's even though the tune is you might think of this as being because the opening thing is very synth heavy. To me, this is a guitar song, obviously, because of the way that the guitar riff kind of originated on it. So that's a very natural guitar riff. That's a really cool guitar riff. I love that. It's super tasteful, man. That could have gone in my top 20 guitar intros of all time. That's a great, there's some things, although they were all solo guitar for the most part of my top 20 guitar intro, acoustic guitar intros video. I didn't use any 80s. I'm trying to think of any particular 80s songs. There's definitely some Cure songs that I could have used that are really, that have great intros like that too. But I tried to stick to things that were actual solo guitar pieces. But maybe I should do an updated video on that. I'm top 20 guitar intros post 1980 because a lot of them were pre 1980. I put all the classic ones in there. Okay, so I'm going to keep my sale going. Go to rickbeato.com. You can get my entire course, $89. That's the cheapest price I ever have on it. I do that about 3 times a year or so for all 4 courses, $89. Great Christmas present for yourself. If you want to improve as a musician, you want to improve your ear, be able to figure out songs like this by ear. Or you have, somebody that's a beginning guitarist or that wants to pick up the guitar. My guitar course literally starts by me going, okay, this is a guitar. This is how you place the guitar. This is where you put your right hand. This is how you hold the pick. These are how you form chords. And I talk about that, how to mute strings, and then how basic songs are played, things like that. I get into finger picking as well in the course, but it's a video. These are all video courses. rickbeato.com. I'll probably do one more live stream. When is Christmas, Tom? Is it Sunday or no? Monday. It's Monday, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'll do a live stream next weekend as well. I think the Andy Summers interview will be out on Monday. For those of you that have been writing to me and asking me, I'll put that on a Monday. There's some really interesting things that Andy talks about. He plays guitar in it. It's awesome. He played my Telecaster right here. Anyhow, you guys are amazing. Have a great rest of your weekend. And like I said, if you think of a way to play this song with a capo without using a bar chord, I want to see it. Tell me what fret to put the capo at and tell me what the chord forms are. All right? All right. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.